Getting all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here in the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another Madden rebuild. But another Madden rebuild that has a challenge attached to it. Because in my never-ending quest to create entertaining content for you guys, especially in the dog days of summer, while we wait in the limbo period, dead period, until new content, including the new college football game that comes out in July, and then obviously the new Madden game that comes out in August, while we wait in that little intermediate period where Madden 24 cycle's basically dead at this point, and we wait between that and the new games coming out, which is not too much longer at this point, thank God, but we still need to make content. So I was thinking, what kind of interesting ideas can I produce that for the most part haven't been done on YouTube before. Now, I'm not saying that this has never been done before. I just haven't seen it personally. Maybe it has. I know it's been done on 2K, NBA 2K, but I don't think it's ever been done in the Madden sense. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it has been done and I just haven't seen the video. I apologize if it has. I'm not trying to take credit for anything. I'm just saying I just haven't seen it personally. So there's a lot of YouTubers I don't really watch that do Madden content that may have already done this. I apologize if they have. I'm not trying to steal your idea. I'm just trying to make entertaining content. So today's idea is we're going to use a wheel spin. Now, obviously, a wheel spin is not anywhere near a new concept in the YouTube format. That is for sure. Wheel spins have been done for millennia on YouTube. But the wheel spin idea that we are going to be doing for this rebuild is we're going to be taking a random team, which the random team that I got was the Seattle Seahawks. So we're going to be rebuilding the Seattle Seahawks, but we are going to be spinning a wheel every single season, and whatever that wheel lands on is the draft class that I have to use. And yes, we are going to be using retro draft classes because we're on PC, so I have all of those retro draft classes that I've used in my modded rebuilds that I do on the channel. So I've got 2007, I've got 2013, 14, however many rebuild or however many draft classes you've ever seen on the channel in my save file thing, that is the draft classes we're going to be using. So yes, there's probably going to be some duplicate players in the league, but that only adds to the interesting factors because maybe we draft a DK Metcalf, a younger version of DK Metcalf, when we already have DK. And then we have two DK Metcalfs on the roster at the same time. An older one, a more in their prime version, and a more raw, clay to be molded version of DK Metcalf as a rookie. And then we see which one does better. Like, how fast is this? Like, there's so many different possibilities for this, for the way this could go. And so we're going to be spinning a wheel. It has all those draft classes. I think it starts at 2005 and then goes all the way up to 2025. So it's going to be very interesting to see which draft classes we get, how many duplicate players will be introduced into the league, and will those duplicate players be better than their real-life counterparts in their prime, or maybe past their prime, or maybe haven't even reached their prime yet. You never know. What if we get the 2025 class? What if we get the 2024 class? The rookies that are already in the game now, what if the next year is the rookies again, so they just come back? Like, that'd be pretty crazy. So anything can happen in this rebuild, but we do want to try to win a championship in the end goal. So I think we can do that. We already start with a pretty solid team in the Seattle Seahawks, so it shouldn't be that much of a challenge. We probably have to find our number one quarterback at some point, and I think we need to maybe add one or two pieces on the offensive line, and probably another weapon to pair alongside DK. Maybe. I mean, Tyler Lockett's good, but he's not like... Maybe we get the prime version of Tyler. I don't know. Well, we have to add a few pieces. The Seahawks need a little bit of help in certain positions, but for the most part, they're already a pretty solid squad, so we shouldn't have to do that much rebuilding. But I just thought that this would be a pretty interesting idea. Let me know if you think it's an interesting idea, if you want to see me do other rebuilds with this style where we spin a wheel of random draft classes. And let's get into it. If you're going to enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Let's get that subscriber, not subscriber percentage a little bit closer together because right now it's over 80%. And I'm not happy about it. No fault of your own. You just got to subscribe. It's not that hard. Not that hard at all. So if you just hit that subscribe button, that would help me out a lot. And now we can get into the Seattle Seahawks rebuild, but I have to spin a wheel of random draft classes. Okay, here we are in modern day, quote-unquote modern day. It's technically last season, but we are using the modern rosters with the 2025 rookies added into it. So we've kind of got a combination of rookies from last year, like Jackson Smith and Jigba, and then rookies from this year. So that's just the way that it is until we get to Madden 25 when the rookies from this year are the only rookies in the game. But this is the roster we're working with. We need to get a quarterback. No disrespect to Geno. Very good quarterback recently. Kind of actually surprising at how good he's been. But we do probably need to get a quarterback to pair along or to rebuild this team. I think we're probably going to be good with running back Kenneth Walker. I do like K-Dub. Very good. This is what I was talking about with DK. What if we get DK's draft class and then we draft DK Metcalf and then we have two DKs on the same team? That'd be pretty awesome. We also have Jackson Smith and Jigba, who's very good. I might decide to trade Tyler Lockett. I'm not 100% sure because I do want Jackson Smith and Jigba to be our number 2 receiver, at least right now. Who knows what happens down the road, but I do want Jackson Smith and Jigba to be a major piece to this team. So maybe we trade Tyler while he's got as much value as possible, and we go from there. The offensive line, like I said, needs a couple extra pieces here and there. Noah Fant's cool, but what happens if we get Travis Kelce's draft class or George Kittle's draft class or Mark Andrew? Like, we could add some really talented pieces there. And then on defense, we need to pretty much rehaul the entire linebacking core, even though no disrespect to any of these guys. Actually, you know what? No disrespect to anybody except Boye Mafe I like. Everybody else, Jerome Baker's cool too. Everybody else, I don't care about. But Boye Mafe and Jerome Baker I like. Then you've got Tariq Woolen and Devin Witherspoon, so we already have 2 number 1 corners, really, both on the same team. Defensive line's a little bit older, so we're going to have to work on that. Safeties are cool, but not great. So the defense needs a little bit more work than the offense does, but we're already a pretty solid team. And here comes the first wheel spin of the video. So as you can see, these are all the same things, by the way. All these 2024, 25 ones, those are just different variations of the same draft classes. So here's all the draft classes we have to work with. I do have like 2003, 2005, or 2002, but I don't think I have 2004 for some reason. So that's not going to be implemented in here. The earliest one we start with is 2005, and if I've done my editing correctly, we are going to have my you're going to be able to see the wheel spin on my phone. I have my phone right here. Well, that's a bright light on my I'm going to lower the brightness here so it doesn't like glare on my face like it was. I was seeing through the camera. That was pretty crazy. But I have a wheel spin right here. I'll show you. You can see the wheel spin right there. But if I do my editing right, you'll be able to see it on the screen if I am talented enough to do that. I'm going to find out. This is going to be a test run. If not, I apologize. You'll just have to take my word. Or maybe I'll show you it just to confirm it. But here we go. I'm going to get ready to go here. I've got the 2005 to 25 wheel spin. If you can see that, 2005-25, we're screen recording. So we're ready to go. 3, 2, 1, spin that wheel. What's the first draft class we're going to be getting? It is going to be a modern one, somewhat. 2016. 2016's draft class. You can kind of see that there. 2016's draft class is the first year that we're going to be getting. Now, how do I delete this? I guess I just go in here and delete it like this. Okay. Delete that. Perfect. So I've got rid of it. Let me just edit it. There we go. I've gotten rid of 2016 so we can no longer get that one. Let me just stop the screen right now. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so 2016 is the first year that we're going to be adding in. So that means Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, Zeke, Jalen Ramsey. Ooh, this is going to be very, very interesting. We don't need a corner, and we already know that Jalen Ramsey is a very talented, one of the best corners in this class in terms of overall, so we don't really need but having Jalen Ramsey paired alongside Tariq Woolen and Devin Witherspoon might be just the magical buttons we need to push. But we could also use a Joey Bosa type. We don't really need Zeke. I don't think this is the draft class to get a quarterback. It might be. Maybe Jared Goff or Carson Wentz could be the guy for us. Maybe Carson Wentz could be pretty fun. We could use this as kind of like a pseudo Revival Series episode and fix the career of Carson Wentz. That could be pretty fun. But Dak is also in this draft class. We don't really need a running back, even though they do have Derrick Henry and Zeke in the class, and there's a couple other players here. Wide receiver wise, it's not a great wide receiver class. Michael Thomas, we could get Slant Man in his prime. Tyreek Hill as a younger man might be just the piece that we need to add. So there are some additions that we could do. This is a good draft class for some of the needs we have. What about linebacker? Because we do need to pretty much rehaul the entire linebacking core. Jalen Smith would be cool. That means that Deion Jones should be in this, right? Yeah, there's Deion Jones. We know that Deion Jones absolutely dominates development in these videos, so Deion Jones is definitely going to be on I'm going to even put him on my favorites list. He's definitely going to be one of my big targets, possibly for the first round, depending on how good we do in this first season. But that is the gist of how this video is going to go. We'll spin a wheel every season to load in a new draft class, and however long that takes until we win a championship. Now, maybe it won't take that long since we already started with a Seattle Seahawks team that's fairly good already. I don't know. I think maybe we start right away with trading Tyler Lockett. Maybe we just get that out of the way right now. He's our second best player, but he's 30 years old, and we can probably get some decent stuff back for him while he still has his value. Maybe we can max out the value that he has. Asante Samuel in a second-round pick next year could be pretty interesting, but is that really maxing out his value? I don't know. He's not getting the trade offers that I would want him to get, but to be fair, he is over 30 now. Oh, let's see. I'm not liking these offers that much. Eric McCoy's cool. That would be our center pretty much done. That would be an interesting one. Cam Taylor-Britt I like, but the draft pick capital is not there. I don't really know what I want to trade him for. Maybe Zay Jones in a second-round pick next year. But if I'm going to take Zay Jones, I'd want more draft picks. I'd probably rather have Asante Samuel in a second-round pick next year. Maybe we go Hollywood Brown in a second this year. It is from Kansas City, but it's still a second this year, which we could then in turn use to trade up possibly and get Deion Jones. Maybe that's the right idea. Maybe we take Hollywood Brown and we take that second-round pick from the Chiefs. The Giants are also offering me a second-round pick from this year, but they're not giving me... I'm going to take that Chiefs pick. We're going to trade Tyler Lockett to Kansas City, which is kind of a bad idea maybe because Kansas City is already good, and now they add a number one potential receiver. But we're going to take Hollywood Brown from Kansas City, send Tyler Lockett to them, and we get back a second-round pick for this year. So now we have 2 second-round picks for this year. And now we have Jackson Smith-Njigba, DK Metcalf, and now Hollywood Brown. So we will adjust that. But I want Jackson Smith-Njigba to be our number 2, and then Hollywood to be our number 3. Okay, so let's simulate year number 1. We already know what the draft class is. Let's just find out. Let's get a basis for how good this Seahawks team is actually going to do. And then we'll go from there, kind of figure out our game plan for the offseason, figure out our game plan for the draft, and hopefully do pretty well. Okay, we actually did not simulate that well in year number 1 of the rebuild. We finished 6-11, kind of shockingly bad for what I thought we'd be at least a bordering playoff team, but we were not. Geno Smith had a fine season, nothing too crazy, nothing too good or bad, just kind of a mid type of season. Kenneth Walker really did well, which is good because he's going to be our running back, so I would hope that he would produce a lot of numbers. And then the 2 guys that I want to be our number 1 and number 2 wide receivers, they did pretty well. Both over 1,000 yards, both 7 and 8 touchdowns apiece. Hollywood did fine. Didn't really get it targeted a lot. I did re-sign Noah Fant to a new 4-year extension, so Noah Fant is back. That's our tight end pretty much good, unless we find another tight end that we like a little bit more. Who knows? Jerome Baker led the team in tackles. Cool. Rayshawn Jenkins, Devin Witherspoon, Julian Love, Tariq Woolen. Draymond Jones led the team. Wow, Draymond Jones had a pretty solid season. 20 tackles for loss and 6.5 sacks. That was pretty good. Leonard Williams with 11. Byron Murphy had 9 tackles for loss and 5.5 sacks. Draymond led the team. Boye Mafe 5. Darrell Taylor, 3.5. Leonard Williams, Jerome Baker. Jenkins, 2 picks, led the team. Not a lot of interceptions. Maybe the Seattle Seahawks defensive playbook is not good for interceptions. I'm not 100% sure how good it is. But now with that season done, We can get to the offseason, which is what matters the most, because that's where we rebuild the team. That's where we get the draft class that we spun the wheel for and have a good time. It is going to be, wow, CJ makes the Super Bowl in year number 2 as a starter. That's pretty awesome. Good for CJ. Can he get it done, though? Come on, CJ. He does. CJ Stroud is a Super Bowl champion in 2 seasons. Talk about producing them right. Ohio State University only produces the best. CJ Stroud gets it done and wins Super Bowl MVP. Lamar Jackson is the MVP of the league. Saquon and Max Crosby are the players of the year. Rashee Rice and Jack Campbell are your rookies of the year. So that is where we finish the first season. But the first season doesn't really matter that much. Any depth trade upgrades? Jackson Smith-Njigba is revealed to be superstar. That's cool. Nobody else goes up. I didn't notice. On defense, Draymond Jones is now superstar, and so is Rashawn Jenkins. That's what I like to see. That's sexy. Draymond Jones, only 27 years old, now being superstar development. We can work with that. We can certainly work with that. But now I need to make sure that Rashawn Jenkins isn't one of the guys that I didn't re-sign just yet. Because when I was going through the re-sign period, I was choosing not to re-sign a couple of lower-end backup players. And I don't know if Rashawn Jenkins was one of them, and I just didn't notice. We're going to have to find out. So here's the negotiations. Let's see. Mike Jackson, Darrell Taylor. Okay, so it wasn't Rashawn Jenkins. But we have $36 million. Both of these guys are 27. We're looking to replace Darrell Taylor anyway, so I don't think we need to bring him back, unless we just want to bring him back as a backup. Mike Jackson, why does he want so much money? If he didn't want almost $20 million, I would probably bring him back, but the fact that he does, I think we can spend that money elsewhere. I think we can get some other pieces to this team. So we're going to let those guys leave in free agency, and we'll go into free agency with an open mind and an open wallet. Let's go see what we got to work with here. We got $37 million, and Chris Jones is available. Oh, my God. No players have franchise. Okay, so we don't have a quarterback that has the franchise QB tag, obviously, because we have Geno Smith. So that's a big reason why Chris Jones doesn't want to be here. But Patrick Queen being here is really, really enticing. Ooh, mommy. That's really, really good. I like having Patrick Queen on the table. That's probably where I spend my money. I don't think we need to spend the money on Chris Jones, even though I would love to. But not having that franchise QB means that we're going to have to really overpay for Chris Jones, and I don't think we have the money to do so. But Patrick Queen, I think we do have the money to spend. Him and Jerome Baker as the 2 middle linebackers on this team, I think would be killer. So we'll spend some money on Patrick Queen. That puts us way ahead of everybody else. Do I want to spend money at any other position? Probably not at wide receiver. Certainly not at tight end. Not at left tackle. We're already good there. Bringing back Damian Lewis might not be a bad idea, because we do probably need some interior offensive line. Damian Lewis, but he's only a 77, so I'm pretty sure we can find that in the draft already. So I think that probably is a bad idea to bring Damian Lewis back. Center, there's not really anybody here. Cesar Ruiz is probably the only guy at right guard that I would go for, but he doesn't really want to be here. And I don't really want to pay him too much money. Outside linebackers, we're pretty good on everything here. Darrell Taylor's got no offers, too bad. Corner, J.C. Jackson's only 28. I know that Mike Jackson's a year younger, but I might go for J.C. Jackson, maybe a 2-year contract, put it at $4 million apiece. I think that's better value than what we would have got with Mike Jackson. So I like that. Free safety, strong safety. Okay, I think my 2 offers are going to be for Patrick Queen, the big one, the big fish, and then J.C. Jackson. So they both. Patrick Queen didn't sign. He signed with the Giants. Ah, Patrick. Screw you. Chris Jones signs with the Detroit Lions. So we only get J.C. Jackson. Man, we were like a full bar of interest higher than everybody else. He didn't want to come here, I guess. That's crazy. So now we have to really focus on the draft, because he could have fit. Oh, this 1-2 punch would have been lethal. But now we add J.C. Jackson to the cornerback room, and we're still looking for corner in the draft. Okay, so the defense still needs a lot of work. That's probably why we didn't finish with as many wins as I would probably wanted us to have, because of our defense. But let's get to the draft. We've got our eyes set on not only Deion Jones, but we've got our eyes set on a couple other people, specifically on the defense. I think Kevin Byard would be a nice addition to the squad. I think, obviously, Jalen Ramsey would be a nice addition to the squad, but depending on what our draft pick sits at, if we finish at 6 and 10, we're probably not going to have that great of a draft pick, which is kind of annoying. And I just realized that I forgot to give Byron Murphy II a development trait. I probably would have given him star, but now that we're already a year in, it doesn't. I forgot. I'll do that for next time if we rebuild the Seahawks again. I just forgot to give him one. Oh, that's okay. Jalen Ramsey going 1 to the Jags is hilarious. Where are we picking at? We're picking at 6. They want us to take Jared Goff. I don't want to take Jared Goff. Bosa. Man, usually Zeke's up here. Zeke looks to have fallen a little bit. It looks to be a situation where we trade out of the 6th overall pick. Zeke to the Patriots. That's funny. It looks like we're going to have to trade out of the 6th overall pick. We could fall to 17 and take Kenny Clark. Vernon Hargreaves is just as good in this draft class as Jalen Ramsey. He develops just as well. So Vernon Hargreaves would be a nice option. There's Miles Jack as well. I think the smart idea is... Okay, Deion's at 30. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Deion is at 30. I wonder if the Chiefs would give us the 30th. We already traded for their second round pick. I wonder if they'd give us the 30th overall pick. But what was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying. I was saying something about trading or something. I don't remember. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's see if we can get Kansas City's first round pick. Pick number 30. They want Abraham Lucas or a second this year. Is that our second? That might be our second. A third this year and then a 5th next year, or a first round pick in 2025. A second round. They want their own second round pick back in this trade. I can probably get away with not giving up that. I'm not going to give up Abraham Lucas. He's too valuable to the team. But I could probably give them... How about Leonard Williams? Oh, they don't have enough money to... Screw you, Kansas City. Ugh. Not having any money. Okay, who's the pick ahead of them? Who's 29? Who's got the 29th pick? It's the Cowboys, and they have actually some decent money. So... They want Lucas, they want 2 seconds, and they want Lucas. Oh, I'm not going to give you all that, but I can give you... They wanted Jerron Reed, and I can give them that because we have Byron Murphy. So that helps. What about if I pair him with Leonard Williams? How's that? That didn't do much. That did not do much. But I could also give you Laviska Shenault. Ooh, that did a lot. They like Laviska. Okay. What about Eskridge? Okay, no, they like Laviska a little bit more. That's fine. I don't need Laviska. So we can give them Laviska. We can give them those 2 other older players. And then we can probably try to sneak away with not giving up too much. Maybe like a 3rd round pick in 2026. Yeah. We can sneak away with not giving up too much. I'll give up a 6th in 2025. Okay, maybe a 5th in 2025. How's that? How is that? That's close. What about a 6th this year? Boom. So, Jerron Reed, Leonard Williams, and Laviska Shenault, 2 guys that are older and we probably wouldn't re-sign anyway. And then Laviska Shenault, who's just not going to have a place here. And then a couple of late-round picks gets us the 29th overall pick. So that jumps us 1 pick ahead of Kansas City. So now we have 2 first-round picks. We have pick number 6, which we're probably going to trade down out of. And now we have pick number 29, which is held by the Dallas Cowboys, who they were going to take Nick Martin, but now we're going to take Deion Jones before the Kansas City Chiefs can. So we're sitting pretty good. We are sitting pretty good. I'm feeling good. It's Skyline time. Let's go and... Oops, I got to do private workouts here. Forgot about that. All right, so let's figure out who these private workouts are going to be. As you can see, Kevin Byard is here. Might as well scout him officially. Vernon Hargreaves. That might be the guy that we... I don't need to scout him. I know how good he is. That might be the guy that we end up going for because he's just super good. This is the 2016 draft, so that means Chris Jones should be here. Yeah, here he is. Chris Jones is here, and funny enough, his counterpart was just in free agency and signed with the Detroit Lions. So this is the type of stuff that you get, the kind of interesting angles that you can get. See, we didn't get the older, the veteran, more established Chris Jones, but we could get the young, inexperienced version of him. Let's get to the draft. This is where rebuilds start. So start drafting. Pick number 6. This should be Jalen Ramsey. Pick number 1 is Jalen Ramsey. 2 is Ronnie Stanley. 3 is Joey Bosa. 4 is Leonard Floyd. And 5 is Taylor Decker. Here we are at 6. No quarterbacks have gone off the board, but that's okay because they're still not going to. If we trade down from 6, we can get number 10 from Chicago, 23 from Cincinnati, 25, 26. A lot of these are a little bit too far down for my taste. I don't want to fall too far because I want to still end up getting like Vernon Hargreaves or something. Who was the other one? That was pick 12 from the Patriots. Pick 11 from the Jets. Maybe I should just take. Maybe I should just stick at 6 and take Hargreaves. Because I don't want to fall too far and then lose him because I fell too far out of his range. And a lot of these extra picks they're tossing in aren't going to matter too much because not a lot of teams are even giving me first-round picks for next season. So it's not like... And I'm not going to trade down to the 31st pick. So I don't think... You know what? I'm just going to stick at 6 and take Hargreaves. We know how good he is. We know he can stay. We know he can develop because we've had him on plenty of other videos. So we could take DeForest Buckner since we just traded away Leonard Williams, but we're going to take Vernon Hargreaves at 6. We know he's a stud. We know he can develop. So now we've got Tariq Woolen, Vernon Hargreaves, and Devin Witherspoon. That's 3 amazing corners. Plus we signed J.C. Jackson. So we've got 4 corners that I like. Jared Goff goes to the Giants. Carson Wentz goes next to the Commanders. Then DeForest Buckner, Shaq Lawson, Laramie Tunsil, Zeke to the Patriots, just like the mock draft said. Carl Joseph, Sheldon Rankins, Joshua Garnett, Vernon Butler, Kenny Clark to the Colts. So the mock draft is staying pretty much to the script. It's not going, as far as I can notice, it's not going out of turn. And now we are about to be up again. Derrick Henry to Philadelphia. That's pretty lethal right there. And then Jalen Smith. All right, so here's the Deion Jones pick, formerly Kansas City's pick. We traded away, or we traded to get it. We could take Xavier Howard, but we already have a corner. Let's take Deion Jones. He develops like crazy. You know what? I've done this draft class so many times that I know that the 2 guys that we just drafted are going to be studs for the future. It's kind of a little glitchy, but hey, I didn't make the draft class. I didn't make them as good as they are, or as developed as they get. And now we head to the second round where we probably... Xavier Howard's still there. And so is Burnt Toast. Let's see. Who do I want to get? Do we focus offensive line? Where do we focus? Probably not wide receiver just yet. I mean, maybe we grab Michael Thomas, but the only problem is I don't want to grab somebody in this draft and then spin the wheel and get somebody or get a draft class that's got way better receiving talent. That's the only problem I worry with. Or talent in another position. That's the problem with doing a draft like this, or doing a rebuild like this. So the center position, which is what we could use, doesn't really have anybody available that I want to take. Joe Tooney, but I'm pretty sure he's only normal in this. He might be star, I can't remember. Jihad Ward, Yannick Ngakoue, Noah Spence. What do I want to do here? What do I want to do? I think we take... Should we take Kevin Byard? I know it says his true talent is around 3 to 4, but I feel like he can turn into something. I'm going to take Kevin Byard here. Maybe a little bit of a reach with his true talent, but he was the best free safety left on the board, and we're going to grab him. We also have pick number 30 of the second round because that's the other Kansas City pick. So basically, we took Kansas City's first 2 picks of this first draft. That's kind of crazy. And both of these guys are still available, and so is Michael Thomas, and so is Yannick Ngakoue. I'm going to take Yannick Ngakoue. We're going to grab him because we need to replace Leonard Williams, who we just traded away. So Yannick Ngakoue will fill that hole, and then there goes Eli Apple. Xavier Howard's still here, and so is Michael Thomas. I'm going to take one of these 2 guys. I'm probably going to take Xavier Howard, X-Man. We'll get him on the team. Now that's 4 corners. Wait, no. That's 5 corners that I like. We just drafted Vernon Hargreaves earlier in this draft. Getting X-Man is pretty crazy. And I don't know how we have this 3rd round pick, but I'll take it. Because that means Michael Thomas is still available for me to grab. So somehow we're coming away with some very good draft pieces. This is a really good first draft. We get Slantman and X-Man. Then we go to the 4th round. Doxson and Laquan Treadwell is still available. Tyler Boyd's available. Oh, there's Chris Jones. Okay, we're going to take Chris Jones. Him and Byron Murphy could be Studley. So, boom, bada bing. So, screw you, Chris Jones. We couldn't get your older version, your current version, but we get your younger rookie version. I'll take that. All right, and then into the, 6th round. Doxson and Treadwell are still here. Strong safeties. Jalen Mills would be fine. Tyvis Powell. I'm a big fan of Tyvis Powell, not just because he went to Ohio State. Let's see. Landon Roberts. DJ Reader. Hardly know her. Matt Judon. We don't have the time to develop Matt Judon. I think it's a wash on the offensive line. I think we just go to another draft for that. Is there a nice backup running back we could possibly grab? I mean, maybe, but probably not. Cardell Jones is available, 12 gauge. I think I'm going to take Jalen Mills. He's not going to be a starter or anything, but I like Jalen Mills, former Patriot. And then the 7th round, they can draft whoever they want. I don't really care. Okay, so big first draft. We got a lot of talent on that team now. We really helped the defense. We brought in Vernon Hargreaves and Xavier Howard to add to the defense, or add to the corners. We brought in Deion Jones, obviously. Brought in Chris Jones. So we got Vernon Hargreaves at a 79, Jones 77, Byard's a 70, and Ngakwe's a 71. We went defensively very heavily here to start. We only drafted 1 offensive player except for CJ Ham. That was the auto-generated pick, or the simulated pick. We only drafted 1 offensive player the entire time. Everybody else is on the defense. And that's, to be fair, that's what we needed to do anyway, because the defense needed a lot more help than the offense did. As for the rest of the class, Jalen Ramsey, we knew was going to be the highest rated player, 83. Corey Coleman. And then there's Hargreaves right up there. So I'm happy with that. That's a really, really good first draft. Very, very happy with that. Let's get to season number 2. We'll also spin the wheel so that we can get the goods going. All right, let me get to just the lineups. There we go. We're still going to rock with Geno, though. We'll see how he does. Offensive line is going to have to be good enough. Hopefully, we get a draft class that has a good quarterback class in it. But now look at the corners. We have Witherspoon, Woolen, Jackson, Hargreaves, and Howard. I'm liking that a whole lot. We've got our potential backup in Kevin Byard for Julian Love. Linebackers still need a little bit of work because we only took Deion Jones, but he'll develop. And then we've got big dog Chris Jones to back up Byron Murphy. So hopefully the defensive line looks a lot better now. Okay. I like the defense a lot now. I like the defense a lot. It still needs work, but in a couple different positions, but I like the defense a lot more now. Okay. Let's get to regular season. Let's get to the regular season and figure out who the next draft class is going to be. So let me get my wheel spin ready to go. 2016 was the last draft, the first draft that we got, but that's been deleted, so we can't duplicate that draft class anymore, or we can't get that multiple times. Some big upgrades for some important people like Smith and Jigba and Weatherspoon. All right, so let's import a local file. Which one are we going to use? Here we go. Draft class spin number 2. Oh, almost forgot to do the recording. That's my bad. That would have been pretty awkward. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Spin that wheel. What's it going to be? Give us a later one. Not 2013. No! 2013 sucks so bad, man. There's 2013 if you can see it. 2013's is so bad, man. It's one of the worst ones. All right, let me delete 2013's. So thankfully we can't duplicate that ever. That's tough. 2013 sucks. It's one of the worst ones. Man, there's no quarterback here. There's Geno. But 2013's is brutal. That's annoying. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins is available. It's not all bad. There's some shining stars in here. But most of this draft class is just not very good. All right. That's the draft. That's what the wheel says. And what the wheel says goes. So here we go. Year number 2. We spun the wheel. We got the 2013 draft class, unfortunately, but we did have to do it. And now we'll see if these additions, these rookies from 2016, can help the squad and actually maybe we make the playoffs in year number 2. Year 2 is in the books, and we improved. That is a factual statement. We did improve by 1 game. 7-10 is the record for year number 2. We really need a quarterback. Geno is fine. Geno is doing well in the role that he's been given, but we need to have that dude. We need to feel a dude in our hands and actually have him. So that's what we need to do. 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns for Kenneth Walker is very good. The 2 studs are doing studly things as they used to do. Defensively, 100 tackles from Jerome Baker. Dotson had 96, not what I expected. Devon Witherspoon. All these guys did pretty well. Byron Murphy had a fantastic year number 2. That's what I want to see from my young D tackle. Draymond Jones had a good year. Boye Mafe had a good year. He also led the team. Murphy led the team with 8 sacks. 4.5 for the rookie Ngakoue, 4 for Draymond Jones. Interception leader was Baker with 3, 2 for a couple guys, and 1 for a couple other guys. So there you go. There you go. Year number 2 stats are in the books. Year number 2 is in the books. And we get to the 2013 NFL Draft. With some shining stars, you got DeAndre Hopkins, you got Travis Frederick, you've got Travis Kelce. There are some very good players in this class, but the majority of it is hot garbage. So we will have to pick through that hot garbage to find the diamonds in the rough. Will I be able to do it? I don't know about that. We'll have to give it a shot. We'll have to give it a good Scouts honor shot as the Ravens get the Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's get to the offseason. Let's get to the good stuff. I want to get to the good stuff. Let's get to the good stuff. Okay. Negotiations. $54 million. We're going to accept the option on Charles Cross. Julian Love wants $27 million to re-sign with the Seattle Seahawks, but you're 27 years old, you're normal development, you are an 85. Anybody else here? Eskridge? No, nobody else. So it's just Julian Love. Do we want Julian Love back? I did just draft Kevin Byard to be basically his replacement, but Kevin Byard's not necessarily ready for the starting shot just yet. So maybe we do have to overpay a little bit for Julian Love to bring him back so that Kevin Byard can get ready. He's going to come back. It's only, a 3-year deal or something like that? It's not that big of a deal. I think we'll be good with that. I do want to check development trade upgrades. Do we get any upgrades? Come on, give me something sexy. Jack Smith-Njigba's now an X Factor. Beautiful. Michael Thomas has X Factor down there. But nobody else on the offense has any development trade upgrades. What about defense? Ooh, yes, mommy. Byron Murphy has superstar development. He went from normal to superstar just like that. Chris Jones, we already knew had superstar. And Rayshawn also gets superstar. So maybe we don't have to worry about strong safety. Maybe Rayshawn will be able to handle it. Boye goes up to star. Deion Jones has superstar. Whoa. Okay. Oh, okie dokie, mama yoki. This is the crazy stuff that we're here for. All right. Let's get to the draft and figure out what we got to do. Well, we got to get through free agency first. Is there going to... Ooh, there's trade offers for J.C. Jackson. I might actually accept some of this. Devontae Booker, Blake Corum, Tyler Higbee. Okay, maybe not. I was hoping there'd be some better options. I mean, Nick Van Nett's cool, but he's a low overall. Oh, this is the young Tyler Higbee. This is from just this past draft class. See, that's what I got to keep in mind. Now that there's going to be duplicates, I got to look at their age. 71 overall, star development Tyler Higbee. We could send J.C. Jackson back to the Patriots for the third time. Do I want to do this? It's not like we need J.C. Jackson anymore. We only signed him for that one season, and then we drafted those two corners to fill his spot anyway. You know what? I'll do it. I'll send J.C. back to the New England Patriots for his third reunion. Or his second reunion, technically. Since the first time he was there, technically wasn't a reunion. We'll send him back there. We'll get Tyler Higbee back. It's not that big of a deal. Tyler Higbee's never going to really turn into anything. Mainly because either we have Noah Fant already, or we're going to get somebody that's a higher overall right out of the gates, higher than Higbee. So, he's not going to matter too much. Ooh! Trey Smith is available! That's my right guard. Thank you very much. It's a 5-year contract. $10 million. $11 million. Trey Smith, welcome to Seattle, big dog. Welcome to Seattle. Quarterback-wise, we could go Mac Jones. I'm not going Mac Jones. Don't you worry. Wide receivers, there's the old DeAndre Hopkins, but I'm looking to get your younger version there, big dog. Tight ends, left tackle Bakhtiari, left guard, center, David Andrews, but David Andrews never gets better than 82 overall, really. Even when you're playing good, he never really gets better. Right tackle, Alex Leatherwood. Left end, Zarius Smith. D tackles, right ends, outside linebackers. Not really feeling it. Not really feeling it. Tony Adams. Why has Tony Adams got such a big head? Like, what's going on? What's going on, big dog? Why did they force, like, a fisheye lens camera on you? Everybody else has got a normal size head. Hey, look at that. We could get DeMar Hamlin. Or his clone. Either one. His clone's probably better at football than he is. All right, let's go, and let's just sign Trey Smith. I don't care about anybody else. Boom! Trey Smith done. Right guard checked off the list. And if we can get Travis Frederick, our entire offensive line will be fixed. So, I like that a lot. I like Oluwatimi, but he's not a development trait, which hurts him very much. Boom. If we can just get a center, we'll be good to go. We will be Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Let's get to the draft. The 2013 draft is upon us, and the 2013 draft sucks. But we should be able to come away with some good, talented young pieces. We've done this draft so many times in different videos that I kind of have it down to a science at who's good and who's not good. So that should be used to my advantage so we can come away with the best draft possible, depending on where we're picking. Since we were one spot better than we were last year, I would assume, depending on whatever team around us did, I would assume we're picking probably around the same 6, 7, 8 range. But I guess we'll find out. Eric Fisher's still going number 1. Look at that. This is the top 3 that actually happened, I'm pretty sure. Maybe even the top 4. Did Sheldon Richardson go 4 to the Jets? That might have been what happened. I don't remember. But I know this for a fact this is the top 3. Where are we picking? We're picking at 7. So we picked at 6 last year. We pick at 7 this year. And they want us to take Star Lotulelei. I don't want to take Star Lotulelei because we have Byron Murphy and we have Chris Jones. So we're good on D tackle. Where is my main man, Mr. What's his face? Wait, he fall out of the first round? Wow, there's Frederick. That's crazy. DeAndre Hopkins is not here in the first round. And that's the guy that I want to take. So that is intriguing. So what I might do is just do a little bit of trading back and getting Travis Frederick at 32 and still coming away with DeAndre Hopkins. How far did DeAndre Hopkins fall? Why did he fall so far? He fell 6 spots. My God, big dog. How bad are you? How bad are thou? If we go to center, Travis Frederick we scout. And who's the last guy that I want to scout? Probably somebody. Maybe Manti Te'o. That could be pretty funny. Let's scout Manti. Well, why not? He's got a fake girlfriend. Let's scout him. Let's scout him. Haven't we all been there, big dog? We've all been there. Okay, so draft number 2, 2013 draft. We got to trade out of the 7th pick. Was Manti in the first round? I know it says he's projected first round, but is he actually mocked? Yes, he is at 16. Okay. So we're not actually going to draft him. Well, I mean, I could, but probably not. We're going to go for Travis Frederick, who's mocked at number 32 to the Ravens? I think it was the Ravens. But that's not going to happen because we're going to get him. So let's start drafting, and then DeAndre Hopkins is not even in the first round, kind of crazy enough. So it goes Eric Fisher, then Luke Jokel, then Deion Jordan, exactly how the real life one went, then Ziggy Ansah, then Jonathan Cooper, then Desmond Trufant. Now we're up. So big dog Sheldon Richardson actually fell, and now that makes me want to take him because I was assuming he wasn't going to be here at 7 because he was mocked at like 4. But now Sheldon Richardson's here. But that doesn't make any sense because we already have Byron Murphy and Chris Jones, so we don't necessarily need a D tackle. I guess we could move him to edge, or to end, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense, does it? And I only make dollars. I don't make sense. Trade the pick away. What can we get? What can we get? Pick 31 plus another first-round pick plus a second-round pick this year. That might actually be good because Frederick was picked to the Vikings. Or not the Vikings, to the Ravens. So that might actually be a solid little addition. Plus we get a first-round pick out of it. Now Tampa did just play in the Super Bowl. But it's an extra first-round pick. I'm going to do this trade. We're going to fall all the way down to 31. Just ahead of the Baltimore Ravens, who are mocked to take Travis Frederick. As long as that stays correct, we'll see what happens. Tavon Austin, Starlo Tulele, Kyle Long, Sharif Floyd. Oops. Why do I always do that? What if Sheldon Richardson falls all the way out of the first round? That'd be kind of crazy. Dante Jones, or Datone Jones. Patterson, Mingo, Xavier Rhodes. Okay, there goes Richardson to the Lions at 16. Geno to the Falcons, Tyler Eifert, Manti Te'o, Eric Reed. Some of the mock draft has been messed up, so that could mean that people get taken that weren't mocked at those spots. So we got to be careful here, but we're coming up on our pick. Le'Veon Bell to the Chiefs, kind of crazy. Kenny Vaccaro, and then Jonathan Akins. Okay, so we made it somehow to this pick. There's DeAndre Hopkins. There's Travis Frederick. Oh, no. Do I think DeAndre Hopkins makes it all the way to 7? Probably not, right? But neither does Travis Frederick. I don't think either of these guys make it all the way here. I'm going to take DeAndre Hopkins. I don't think he falls all the way to 7. There's no chance. Absolutely no chance. We'll see what the Ravens do. Oh, the Ravens are going to take Travis Frederick now. So let me try to trade with the Ravens. Let me try to trade with the Ravens. We'll get back-to-back first-round picks, hopefully. Baltimore. Pick 32. What do they want for it? They want a first-round pick or 2 second-round picks. Okay. We can work with that. We have 2 first-round picks next year. I can give you a second-round pick in 2027. Wait, what was the 2 picks that they wanted? They wanted 2025 second, which is this year, and then they wanted a 2026 second plus a 7. But they want my higher. They want this one. They don't want my 63rd. What about if I give you my 63rd? Plus a 2027 third. Plus, you can't really take a player on because you have negative $23 million, so it has to be just picks. I'll give you a second as well in 2027. And trade offer accepted. So 2 second-round picks and a third-round pick gets us the very next pick after DeAndre Hopkins, which we will use to take Travis Frederick. And I somehow still kept my my good old-fashioned 7th overall pick in the second round. So, boom, offense line pretty much done. Now, we do have Laken Tomlinson at the left guard spot, which could be replaced. But for right now, that's not a high priority. That is not really that much of a high priority. We can kind of ride it out with him for right now and see how that goes. Hey, look, Jamie Collins back in New England. Good for that. Darius Slay is still available, which is high on my list of guys that I would like to have. but he's not in a position that we absolutely have to have. Yes, I see Travis Kelce, I see Tyrann Mathieu, I see Teron Armstead. A lot of those guys aren't in positions that we need to have. We need another middle linebacker. But this middle linebacking class is not very good, especially now that Manti Te'o is gone. The other position we could use, we don't really need a free safety anymore because we have freaking Rayshawn Jenkins, who's a stud. Well, that's strong safety. Free safety, we have Julian Love and Kevin Byard. D tackle's good. Right end and left end, we could use maybe an upgrade on Draymond Jones, but Draymond Jones is now superstar development. I mean, there's not really... maybe we just take best player available now because we're really in a good spot. And I think best player available is probably Darius Slay. Big play Slay. That's probably best case scenario. Yes, I know that Travis Kelce is available, but we have Noah Fant. It's not like we need Travis Kelce. Noah Fant can get the job done to win a championship. I'm going to take big play Slay. Another corner. We did just trade J.C. Jackson, I guess. Third round, pick number 7. Mathieu is still available. Mathieu could end up being a free safety. We could just move him out of corner and be a free safety. I might just do that since he looks like he's the best player available. So let's just take Tyrann Mathieu and make him a safety. And then that could end up being our replacement instead of Kevin Byard. It could just be Tyrann Mathieu. 4th round pick. Stedman Bailey is available. Barrett Jones, C.L. Moore, Monty Ball, Micah Hyde, Big John Simon. Not a lot available, is there? Not a lot available. Maybe we take a running back. Maybe we take Monty Ball. No, I'd probably rather have like a Theo Riddick. Wide receiver, tight end. I'm not seeing a whole ton of talent here. And that's to be expected because it's the 2013 draft. I'm not even sure where what we do with this pick. We could take Micah Hyde, I guess, but we're taking too many DBs at that point. We just don't have enough room for everybody. We already have some good players. I think I might just grab... I don't know. I might just grab, like... Theo Riddick, I guess. He was day 3. Might as well just grab him. I don't really have any other options. We'll just take Theo Riddick, backup running back, whatever. And then I'll simulate out of the picks. This draft class kind of sucks. So we'll simulate out of the picks. Have the CPU take whoever they want. Doesn't really matter. We're pretty good. We're in a really good situation right now. We are in a really, really, really good situation. The only thing we're lacking is that X Factor quarterback. So that's the only thing that we're missing. Hopkins, Frederick, Slay, Mathieu. They took Jordan Mills and a bunch of garbage. Okay, so the situation as is that we need a quarterback. That's really the only missing link. That is the missing link to the team. Geno is now dropped to a 75, so Sam Howell, yeah, we definitely need to get a starting quarterback. Sam Howell's now our number 1 quarterback. We're going to need to get a quarterback going no matter what. So I'm actually going to move Deion Jones into middle linebacker so that Uchenna Nwosu can play outside. And maybe that'll give us a little bit more help. So Deion will move to inside linebacker. If I can do, not that. If I can do the generate best lineup. Actually, before I do that, we're going to... no, I can't do that. So we move him in. He starts over Dotson. And then we have a decent linebacking core. We need to go to the actual roster and make sure that Tyrann Mathieu turns into a free safety, since he's not there on the depth chart because we have so many good corners. Let's go to corners, and let's go to Tyrann Mathieu, and we'll turn him into a free safety, so maybe he can get some play time. He ends up being a 72 overall, same deal as what he was as a corner, so perfect. The team's looking a lot better now. We just, like I said, we need that quarterback. If we can get that quarterback, then this team is going to win a Super Bowl. That's the big thing. So that's what we're looking for here. That's the main goal. Will that happen? I hope so. So I'll get the wheel spin loaded back up. We've done 2016 and 2013. I kind of want like an older draft, like a 2006 or something, or 2007, something cool like that, something more not as modern. So we'll load up the files, and here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's spin the wheel. Boom. Oh, no. Hold on. Don't spin. Don't tank that. I was not recording. So don't take this wheel spin for what it is. Let me now hit the record button. I'm a professional. Okay, there we go. Now we're recording. 3, 2, 1, spin that wheel. Here we go. What's the draft class we're going to get? Please be old school. It looks like it's going to go old school. No, it turned to modern day. It's going to be 2022. Who's in the 2022? I guess we'll find out right here. We might as well. Who's in that 2022 draft class at quarterback? Is that the... That's not the Trey Lance class, is it? Oh my God, it's the worst draft class of the modern era. Well, one of the worst draft classes of the modern era. Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. We're just not getting classes that are good for quarterbacks. This is out of control. This is absolutely out of control. We're just not getting quarterback classes. All right, let me get rid of 2022. This is unbelievable, man. Unfreaking believable. Desmond Ridder, tiny hands, Malik Willis. I mean, our starting quarterback right now, Sam Howell. The only guy that's here that I would take is Brock Purdy. So this is unbelievable. We're just not getting that draft class, man. I can't help it. The wheel spin is not being kind to the quarterback room. Now, there's obviously other players in this class that are good, but they're not the position that we need. Okay, so we'll simulate year number 3. Maybe we have so much talent that having a mid quarterback still gets us to the playoffs. I hope so. We won 6 games in year 1, 7 games in year 2. If we win 8 games here, I'm going to be a little frustrated. Okay, so this season went really, really in the wrong direction. We only won 4 games. Now, that could be one of 2 things. That could be the team really, really desperately needs a quarterback, and Sam Howell just wasn't the guy, because every other position is pretty much done. Like, we're good at every single position, talent everywhere, except for that quarterback spot. We don't have that guy at quarterback. That's scenario number 1. The other way it could go, the other of the 2 options, is that the playbooks are not good. Seattle's playbooks might not be good enough in Madden Simulation, even though we have a disgustingly talented team. The Seattle Seahawks playbooks might not be good enough. So that, you know what, that actually is what I'm going to change. Because Sam Howell could, with the team that we have around him, really any quarterback, in theory, should be dominating. Or not dominating, but they should be getting us more than 4 wins. This team that we have here does not deserve 4 wins. So I think it's just a matter of the playbook just is not good enough here in Seattle. And that has to be the case, because I cannot think of anything else, any other reason why we would not be doing very well. So what we're going to switch to, I'm not going to go to Kansas City. I know Kansas City is the obvious choice. I'm not going to go to Kansas City's. I am going to go to, let's go to, now that Kansas City's out, I don't really know. Let's go to, Houston just won a Super Bowl in this video, so maybe Houston would be good. But I've done Houston's before, and it didn't really do that well. Maybe we'll go to Dallas. Let's go to Dallas's as offense, and probably even Dallas's defense, because Dallas's defense does really well. So let's just switch fully to Dallas Cowboy playbooks for next season. That should help us win more games, because this team honestly should be way better than what we did. We have way too much talent. And Sam Howell, I mean, Sam Howell, he might not be the guy. That's understandable. That's something we knew would happen, is Sam Howell probably wouldn't produce. But he's got so much talent around him. He's got a great running back in Kenneth Walker. He's got great wide receiver talent from 1 to 7, really. He's got so much talent at wide receiver. He's got a really good offensive line. He's got a defense that's really good. So I don't really know what the issue is. It's got to be the playbook, or it's got to be Sam Howell, and both could be true, I guess. both could be true. The fact that Sam Howell just can't cut it with this roster, and the playbooks weren't good. Both of those statements could be true, but I'm going to lean towards the playbooks were the problem, and that may be me going around the fact that this draft class coming up is not a good quarterback draft class. That could be a possibility. Maybe I should have just taken that first one in 2016 and taken like Carson Wentz or something. But I was banking on the fact that we would spin the wheel and get lucky and actually get a draft class that has like, oh, I don't know, Cam Newton or Patrick Mahomes or somebody that would be actually like really, really good for us. And speaking of Patrick Mahomes, he gets another Super Bowl ring as he beats, I'm assuming, Jordan Love and the Packers. We are like 3 years deep, so who knows who's the quarterback of the Packers at this point. Trent McDuffelbag gets the Super Bowl MVP. Good for him. Dak Prescott MVP of the league, so that's one of the reasons why we're going to Dallas's offense. McCaffrey and Josh Allen, the athletic Josh Allen, are the players of the year. Le'Veon Bell, funny enough, for the Chiefs, gets the Rookie of the Year, and then Ziggy Ansah is your Rookie of the Year for the defense. So the Chiefs just got Le'Veon Bell added to that roster. Think about prime Le'Veon Bell on the Kansas City Chiefs. That's disgusting, and that happened, and they won a championship with it. So I guess it does really happen. It's possible. All right, so I did not re-sign any players because it's such a massive class to re-sign that I wanted to make sure I did it with you guys. It's so many. There's so many players here that we need to re-sign. Luckily, this is the year that we have a lot of money in cap space, so this came at a perfect time. But there are so many players that I want to bring back. Let's start with the obvious ones. DK Metcalf needs to come back. Luckily, he wants to be back. And he's going to be back. So DK is back. Kenneth Walker has to come back. That's a pretty obvious one. I know he doesn't really want to be here because we changed the scheme fit. Hopefully, he just likes dollar signs. And we just keep adding zeros to his contract. And he's going to come back. Tariq Woolen has to come back. Not really has to. We have a lot of cornerback depth, so we could afford to lose Tariq Woolen, but I don't want to. He's coming back. Abraham Lucas has to come back. And we don't have to add too much more to his contract because he already wants to be here. Draymond Jones will wait on for a second. Hollywood will wait on for a second. Jerome Baker doesn't have to come back, but I want him back. I want Jerome Baker back. He's back. $50 million. Boye Mafe, Sam Howell. We kind of have to have Sam Howell back, don't we? Rayshawn Jenkins at 32. I will give him a new contract, but we can find a replacement for him pretty easily. $44 million. Lincoln Tomlinson we need to have back until we have a solid replacement. I guess I could move Oluwatimi to left guard and then have Travis Frederick play center. That could be a possibility, but we'll bring Oluwatimi back just in case. Or not Oluwatimi. Lincoln Tomlinson, because I don't really have an option right now. Michael Dixon doesn't matter. Gino, I wish he would have been our quarterback for a while. We didn't really capitalize on your value, did we? $81 million for... I didn't even realize. $81 million for Sam Howell. That's just not going to happen, big dog. I know you want to be here. That's just not... I'm not doing that. I'm simply not paying you that much money. Draymond doesn't want that much. So we can get him for fairly cheap, all things considered. And then Marquise Brown. Hollywood will get him back. I'm so glad that this is the time that we had all that money available in cap room, because this is the time when we needed all that money in cap room, because we spent basically every single penny bringing all these guys back on new contracts. We have $8.5 million available, and I'll spend some of that on Michael Dixon, even though he doesn't matter, because he's a punter. But we'll pay him $5.7 million. I'm just not paying you that much money, Sam. One, you're not worth it. You got us in your 1 year as a starter. You got us 4 wins. With the talent that we have here, that's disrespectful to get us 4 wins. So I don't know how you expect to get 83 or 81 million. I might even try to trade you. Damari Mathis, 86 overall corner. We don't need corner. Stop it, Juice. Kadarius Toney. The other Geno Smith, Tyreek Hill, the young Tyreek Hill, who also, I thought also ended up in Miami, but he's in Jacksonville. I saw the light color. I thought it was Miami. Marte Mapu's interesting. That's actually really interesting. Marte could be, he's 26. Marte could be the replacement for Rayshawn Jenkins. I'm going to do this. Sam Howell, go to New England. Marte Mapu is now our starting strong safety because I think he already is higher overall than Rayshawn Jenkins. And hopefully he doesn't need a new contract. Maybe that's why they were trading him, because he needed a new contract. I hope that's not the case. Do I move Oluwatimi to left guard and then have Frederick play center? We'll see how this draft goes. If we need to do that, we will. Defensively, Mapu's right here. Jenkins falls down. Myron Murphy's now an X Factor. My God, he's good. I'm so happy we have that man. That man is crazy cracked. Okay, I do need to check, though. Oh, Julian Love, I noticed, got star development. That's awesome. I'm glad we re-signed him now. Does he need it? Please don't tell me that Marte Mapu... Okay, next week, or next season, he needs a contract. Thank God, because we would not have been able to pay him. We would not be able to pay him. But now we have no quarterback, because Gino's out the door as well. He's just walking. And Sam Howell, we traded New England. So, we got no money to sign any backup quarter. Oh, my God, Jalen Waddle's here as well. And Chase Young is here. And Chase Young wants to be here. Chase, why? Can I free up money? Can I free up any sort of dollars to bring Chase Young here? If he didn't want to be here, I would probably let it go. But the fact that he has real big interest in coming to Seattle makes me horny. I want Chase Young on my squad. And so I will use some restructuring of some contracts to bring the money in. But I will crucially try to avoid the guys that I just re-signed so that I don't feel like I'm cheesing the system too much. But then again, who do I care? That brings in $11 million. That's still not enough. Maybe I have to do that. Maybe I have to restructure some of those new extensions. We'll see what I can do without doing that. We can do Noah Fant. We can do Julian Love. And we can do... A lot of these guys are on rookie deals. That's why it's not really mattering too much. How much did that free up? That freed up $15 million. That's still not enough. I think I might have to do at least one of those new contracts I just signed. So like DK. You know DK? Let's call up DK. We'll call him up on the phone and we'll be like, hey DK, you know that contract we just extended to you? We're going to move some of that money back. Just a little bit. Hey K-Dub, you know that contract we just gave you? We're going to move some of that initial money back a little bit. You'll still get it, but we're just going to move that money back, okay? Because we didn't realize that we were going to have an opportunity to get Chase Young. $29 million. That is enough to offer Chase Young a contract. 4 years, $13 million, $14 million. Please, Chase, come to Seattle. No! Chase Young didn't sign. He signed with the Commanders. Chase, you just got... Chase Young. You want to go back to Washington? Why would you want to go back to Washington? Nobody's ever in their life said, I want to go back to the Commanders. Oh, Chase. I guess I could have offered him more. I probably should have, to be on the safe side. That's annoying. But hey, in the long run, it's not going to matter too much, because hopefully we can find our quarterback and just win a championship. I'm tired of winning 4 games. Luckily, we're going to have a good draft pick, so we can bring in like Aiden Hutchinson or something. That might help out the team. That might help out the team a lot. All right, private workouts. Where are we picking? So I know what I'm doing here. Number 3, and they have us taking Aiden Hutchinson. Chef's kiss. That's exactly what I want to do. I want to take Aiden Hutchinson. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take Aiden Hutchinson with this pick. I should probably also look to see what that other pick is, because we have 2 first-round picks this year, right? Our other first-rounder is at 17. They have us taking Kenny Pickett. Yeah, that's not going to happen, big dog. Even if he had the tiniest hands in the world, even if he had tiny little baby hands, I wouldn't take him. Because he sucks. All right, Aiden Hutchinson, definitely going to get him all done. Sauce is a top 5 talent. We know that I could get 2 Charles Crosses for some reason. Kyle Hamilton's interesting, but he's probably going to be gone by the time we come up next. Middle linebackers. Devin Lloyd, Quay Walker, Nakobe Dean. The middle linebacking core is not that Tasty. D tackles. Defensive ends. We're already going for big dog. What's his face? Kenyon Green. I think I'm going to use one on him. Aiden Hutchinson, Quay Walker, Kenyon Green. If I could come away with Aiden Hutchinson and Kenyon Green, that'd be pretty awesome. Where is Kenyon Green mocked to go? Kenyon Green is mocked at number... Not in the first round. Beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. Because I could probably just stay at number 17 and take him. All right. This could be the draft of all drafts. It could be. There's potential for it to be the draft of all time. Start drafting. Saints are at number 1. They will take not Quay Walker, Trayvon Walker. Broncos will take Derek Stingley Jr. And we will take Aiden Hutchinson. Boom. Stud. Absolute stud. Okay, there we go. That fixes our Chase Young problem that we didn't get Chase Young. Thibodeau goes next, then Drake London to New England. That's interesting. Ike Ekwonu, Charles Cross, who we already have. Chris Olave. There goes Sauce. Ends up on the Jets still. Look at that. Jordan Davis. Garrett Wilson. Evan Neal. Jameson Williams. J-Mo. Devontae Wyatt. Kyle Hamilton. And Breece Hall. And now we come up at 17. And this is probably where... Ooh, do we take Zion Johnson or do we take Kenyon Green? His true talent is day 3. Really? You're going to be disrespecting Kenyon Green like that? He's a good player. I'm going to take Zion Johnson. Zion Johnson, welcome to the squad. So that's Aiden Hutchinson and Zion Johnson in the same first round. I'd say that's a home run of a first round. Round 2, pick 3, Petrie goes. Kenyon Green's still available. Quarterbacks are all still on the board. I know. Shocker. Running backs, we don't really need. Not right now, at least. Wide receivers, we're good on. Tight end, we're good on. Trevor Penning. I can't in good consciousness take Kenyon Green when it says he's a day 3 guy. I can't take him right now. So we're going to look for some other position. And it looks like our man got taken. It's okay. There's Boye Mafe again. You know what? I might take 2 Boye Mafe. I might have 2 Boye Mafes on my team. That could be pretty funny. Let's do it. Let's grab Boye Mafe. The second one. Welcome to the squad, Boye. You're back. Do we still have him on the team? I don't even remember. I don't even remember if he's still on the team. We didn't have a 3rd round pick, so we have a 4th round pick here. And our 4th round pick is going to be probably Brock Purdy, right? Let's just get Brock Purdy out of the way in case he gets taken for some reason. So at least we have a quarterback. At least we have a quarterback now. Since we lost both Sam Howell and Geno Smith. But Geno Smith wasn't going to be a viable option anymore anyway. He was regressing heavily. But we have Brock Purdy. We have now possible of 2 Boye Mafes. But the main piece was getting Aiden Hutchinson. Zion Johnson's cool too. Purdy's a 73. They took a bunch of scrubs. Okay. Please, wheel spin, give me something good. Although at this point, do we really need anything else? I guess the only thing would be the quarterback position. If the draft class, the wheel spin gives us a draft class that has a unbelievable talent at quarterback, then we'll take them, even though we do have Mr. Brock Purdy here, who's going to be in the Dallas offense, and hopefully he does pretty well. He's coming into a great system. He's got a number 1 running back. He's got a bunch of number 1 wide receivers. He's got a great tight end, a great offensive line. He's got a great defense. And now we have 2 Boye Mafes. I did it. I've got 2 Boye Mafes on my team. He's got a great defense with a bunch of studs all around. So, I mean, if Brock Purdy's going to come into a situation, this is probably the best one he could come into. So let's get to the regular season so that we can get this wheel spin, what hopefully could end up being the final wheel spin, because maybe we win a Super Bowl here and then the video is over. I don't think we will. I think it'll take us another year probably until we find that quarterback. But here we go. We're running out of draft classes because I've deleted all the other ones, so let's get the upgrades for all the guys that need them. All right. Please, cross the fingers. Please, we get a good draft class. I am ready to go with the screen recording. I didn't forget this time. Okay. This is the fourth wheel spin we have. It has not given us a good draft class yet. Please. 3, 2, 1. Spin the wheel. It's going to give us a later one, 2014? 2012? 2014's, which has Derek Carr. It's still not a great draft class for quarterbacks. I guess we have to rely on Brock Purdy. I mean, it's an okay draft class, but it's nothing special. Let's load it up and see what it actually looks like. It does have Aaron Donald in it, which is nice. Where's 2014 at? I guess I should have went all the way down here. 2014, it's got all the guys in it. Jadeveon Clowney, Odell Beckham Jr. But the quarterback is what we need, and it has Blake Bortles, Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, it doesn't have number one guys in it. And that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for, man. So, Brock Purdy, this is your team now. You've got a new playbook, Dallas's offense and Dallas's defense. But you've got new playbooks. You've got studs at every single position. If we don't win more than 4 games, I'm going to be very, very annoyed. Okay, so I guess having a competent quarterback and changing the playbooks really does matter. Good to know. We won 13 games and won the division, make the playoffs for the first time in this video. That's about right. I mean, we have way too talented of an organization to not make the playoffs, so I'm glad that we actually did. And Brock Purdy in the Dallas playbook looks to have cooked so much that he is got a Michelin star, because he has unbelievable numbers right here. 4,400 yards and 39 touchdowns. Geno Smith was putting up kind of numbers like this, but Sam Howell sucked. He sucks. He's bad. Garbage. Great numbers from Brock Purdy. Really good numbers from Kenneth Walker. They returned to prominence. They had a year dip, when Sam Howell was throwing them the football, but now they have a good quarterback throwing them the football. Smith and Jigba and Metcalf actually dominate, as you would expect. 17 touchdowns for Smith and Jigba as well. Jerome Baker back to prominence. Marte Mapu gets a lot of tackles. Deion Jones gets a lot of tackles. Aiden Hutchinson, as a rookie, dominates tackles for losses, along with Draymond Jones. Byron Murphy's a stud. This is the older Boye Mafe. He had 10 tackles for loss. Draymond led the team in sacks with 11.5. This is what happens when you have the Dallas playbook. 10.5 for Murphy, 6.5 for Hutchinson. 5 interceptions for Vernon Hargraves, 2 for Jordan Love, and a couple other people. Good stuff. But the most important part is the fact that we won enough games to make the playoffs. I cannot be more excited about it. Smith and Jigba actually finished second in receiving yards in the entire NFL. Cardinals in the wild card. It's a divisional matchup. Can we get it done? Yes, we can. 31-9. Brock Purdy! Let's go! Kenneth Walker's a 98 overall, by the way. Stud. He's from Studleyville. All right. Atlanta Falcons. They're good, but they're not better than us. Please. Please. Ah! We beat the Atlanta Falcons, and now we play for a trip to the Super Bowl. NFC title. Niners, Seahawks. It's going to be a tough one. Let's get in there. Brock Purdy, my king. Before I jumped into this game, I went to check to see what overall Brock Purdy was, and he ended up being an 80 overall, but he's playing up with morale to an 85. And funny enough, we're taking on the 49ers, who I'm pretty sure have Brock Purdy at quarterback, so this is a Brock Purdy matchup in the NFC title game, and it's a close one. It's 28-28. We had a pretty decent lead that we lost. It's 35-35, 42-35. Oh my God, this is back and forth. They only got a field goal. Come on, boys. Get the job done. Our offense is too good to not do it. 45-38, late fourth quarter action. And we do it! The Seattle Seahawks are back in the Super Bowl. It's about dang time. Ugh! And it was a Brock Purdy matchup. Their Brock Purdy really outperformed our Brock Purdy, but we got the job done. So I don't care. That was pretty crazy, though. Wow. Brock Purdy gets an upgrade point. So does Deion Jones. But we're playing in the Super Bowl, which is what matters. That is what really, really matters. I was a little worried there because it was that was really high-powered, wasn't it? That was like a really high-scoring game. But our team came out on top. We're playing the Miami Dolphins in the Super Bowl. Purdy gets another upgrade point. He's now an 82 overall, but he's probably playing up to like an 87 now. 88 maybe even. I mean, oh my God. Do we get any dev trade upgrades before we jump into the game? Purdy's an X factor. I mean, that's what happens when you get a quarterback. It's crazy. Look at where we're at right now. Look at where we are at right now. The team is so good. So good. Looks like we didn't even need to draft Kevin Byard because Julian Love ends up playing really, really well. I'm really glad that we ended up making the decision to re-sign him because that could end up being really big. But this is what it all comes down to. We spun four wheel spins or 3 wheel spins? I think it was 4 wheel spins. We haven't got to the 4th one yet. But we spun technically 3 wheel spins, did those drafts, and we've built the team up to this point. This could be where it all comes together. Let's go win a championship. It's Super Bowl time. Dolphins and Seahawks. We kick a field goal to take a 3-0 lead. We've got such a good offense that we should be able to destroy these Miami Dolphins. I wouldn't think their defense can handle us, but it looks like they're doing a decent job right now. We get 2 field goals. We must have got some sort of turnover because we have the ball back again, but we're only kicking field goals. You're not going to win a Super Bowl kicking field goals. Or maybe you can. I don't know. There's a touchdown, 17-0. Dolphins finally put one up, but it might be too little too late. 24-7. That's going to be the ball game. There's no way they can come back. And it is. Seattle is on top of the football world once more. We complete the draft class wheel spin. And all it took was Brock Purdy. Of all people, of all quarterbacks we could have gotten in the wheel spin. Think of all the years. 2005 all the way to 2025. That's a 20-year gap, or a 21-year gap, if you're counting 2005 along with it. That's a 21-year gap. And all the quarterbacks in that gap. And we ended up with Brock Purdy. Out of all those quarterback possibilities, we could have had Matt Stafford. We could have had Patrick Mahomes. We could have had Matt Ryan. We could have had name your quarterback in that time frame. And yet we end up with Brock Purdy. And he's the one that gets us to the championship. I mean, to be fair, really any comparable quarterback would have been able to get the job done with the team that we had. And also we moved playbooks. We changed playbooks to Dallas. I really do think that Seattle's offensive playbooks were just so limiting that we weren't going to get the job done. But hey, I did it without even moving to Kansas City. We didn't even move to Kansas City once. So I'll take that. And I'm assuming Brock Purdy won Offensive Rookie of the Year. I would think. But I guess we'll find out. This is a fun rebuild. I like this. I like this video. This is a good video. I like having the challenge of not knowing what draft class we're going to get and try to build around that. That's a kind of cool concept. I really enjoyed that. But we get the championship. Season recap. Kenneth Walker wins MVP of the Super Bowl. Cool for him. Patrick Mahomes gets MVP of the league and Offensive Player of the Year. Max Crosby wins another Defensive Player of the Year. But we get both of the Rookies of the Year. Aiden Hutchinson wins Defensive Rookie of the Year, and Brock Purdy gets Offensive Rookie of the Year. So we really, that draft, I told you that was going to be one of the drafts of all time, and it ended up being true. That's a true statement. It was one of the drafts of all time. This is the final roster. We ended up with only one duplicate player, and that was Boye Mafen. I just did that for the memes. But we have Kenneth Walker. The offensive line stayed pretty much the same, except for Trey Smith added in. That's really the only addition that I made there. Everybody else was an original Seattle Seahawk. Noah Fant stays around. Wide receiver core stays at the top 2, but we added in Hollywood Brown, Michael Thomas, and DeAndre Hopkins, even though those guys didn't really get to do much shining because we had Smith and Jigba and DK Metcalf. So we didn't really change the offense that much when you think about it. The defense we had to change a lot. We do keep original guys like Jerome Baker, Boye Mafe, Uchenna Nwosu, Julian Love, Tariq Woolen, Byron Murphy, and Draymond Jones, along with Devin Witherspoon. So there's still the backbone of the team is still there. The majority of the players on the original team are still there. But we added in Chris Jones, Aiden Hutchinson, Deion Jones. We added in Marte Mapu, Xavier Howard, Vernon Hargraves, Darius Slay, Kevin Byard. So we put some pieces in there to fill in the gaps. But for the most part, the Seattle Seahawks team that we started with is what we ended with, just with a few additions. And this man right here, Brock Purdy, was the game changer, along with changing the playbooks. But that was a really fun rebuild. I enjoyed that. I like the challenge of not knowing what draft class we were going to get next and having to work around trying to pick the players that I wanted to pick. That was pretty fun. If you guys enjoyed it, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Like I said in the earlier portion in the intro, if you have any other teams you want to see me try this with the random draft class wheel spin, let me know, and I will take that on. I've also got some other ideas that I'm cooking up in my head right now for future rebuild videos until we get to NCAA, or not NCAA, EA Sports College Football and the new Madden game. So I can't wait for those videos to come out, but I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.